And gentlemen, I'm thrilled to introduce Anmol Singh, author of bestseller Preparing for Success, 10 Keys for Making It in Life. As a distinguished trader and investor, Anmol has mentored over 10,000 financial professionals, combining technical expertise with essential psychological insights. He's the founder of Evolve Mastermind, the premier success community for ambitious professionals. His achievements have been featured in Forbes, International Business Times, and Business Insider. Beyond finance, Anmol advises multiple companies as an angel investor and manages real estate and Airbnb ventures. Please welcome this Renaissance entrepreneur and success strategist, Anmol Singh.
So I have 5 minutes with you today, and I just want to have a quick little chat, right? So have you ever, said to somebody, hey, let me call you right back, and then you never did, right? Or maybe you run into somebody you recognize or somebody you know, and you're like, hey, we should totally catch up, when you know you have no intentions of ever following up or catching up with them, right? Or maybe you're supposed to follow up with an email, and it's like sitting in your inbox, it's sitting in your drafts, and you just haven't done it, right? So there's a disconnect, right? A disconnect between what we say we want and what our actions are actually showing us in real time, right? And the true results are created when we can bridge that gap between what we say we want and what our actions are saying. So it all really starts with the word integrity. I want you to write this down, the word integrity, right? Now, integrity is not morality. I think a lot of people confuse that. We're all moral people, I would imagine, right? But integrity is doing what you said you're gonna do and then doing it when you said you're gonna do it. And doing it whether you feel like it or not, but doing it because it's the right thing to do. And when we start living like that, that's how we create results in our lives. Like you, like me, probably know people who in 2019 are like, I want to start my podcast, I want to have this side gig, I want to start my own business, I just don't have the time, I'm so busy with my job. And then comes 2020, they had all the time in the world to actually do all the things they said they're going to do, but they didn't do it. So there's a disconnect. So the results are created when you can bridge that gap. So, I'll tell you a little story about myself, right? It's kind of funny now looking back. So a year ago, if you saw me, I'm 40 pounds overweight, my skins are breaking out, right? And there was a lack of integrity in my own life. I was chasing the business dream, chasing the money dream. And even though I had all of that, just felt like something's missing, because I know that I'm not following through on what I say I'm going to do. And I want to get my health back in order. I want to get back in track. And I said, you know what, I'm going to start from tomorrow. I'm going to quit drinking. I'm going to stop partying. And I'm going to work out tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow comes, but, it's Friday. So you're like, Monday. I'm going to just start from Monday, right? And then Monday comes, but it's November. You know what, New Year's resolutions. We're just going to start from January. And years just went by like that, right? It's all these little micro negotiations that we make with ourselves. And we think we're outsmarting our brain, right? But this is a negotiation that you're never going to come out the winner in. Those small little negotiations, we're basically just pushing the buck forward on our own goals, right? Why do we do that? Why do we run into somebody and say, hey, I want to catch up with you, but you have no intention? Why is that? Because we're trying to be polite. We're trying to avoid that awkwardness, right? But it's better just to say, hey, you know what? I can't commit to that right now. Because then you feel good about yourself, because the unconscious mind cannot differentiate between your true intentions. It only sees words spoken, actions not taken. That's it. And that creates a vicious cycle that showed up in my own life where I said I'm going to do something and I didn't, then I feel guilty about it, I beat myself up about it. Then what happens? Low self-esteem. Now that low self-esteem creates low self-confidence. That low self-confidence was how I was showing up in my day-to-day life. It's that vicious cycle of the actions that we're not taking. Right, so I want to ask you, where in your life have you said you're going to do something that you haven't been doing? The first thing that came into your mind, that's the one, right? Now, how many of you guys procrastinate here? He's like, I'll raise my hand later. Yeah. So it's precisely my point, right? We all procrastinate, but that's coming from a place of there's somewhere else in our life that we said we're going to do something, haven't done, and it's showing up in a completely different area of our life because the unconscious mind doesn't know it. So when you say you're going to do something and you don't, then next time when you set a goal, your unconscious mind's like, he's full of it. He's not going to do it. You're just saying things. It's that little voice that we got to learn to quiet, and it only quiets when we actually take action and follow through on our own words. So, going back to regardless of your spiritual beliefs or religious beliefs, right? Even in the Bible, in the beginning there was the word, right? In Matthew it says what? Let your yes be yes, let your no be no. Go back to the Hindu traditions. In the Gita, it talks about satya, the truth of your word, right? Buddhism talks about it. You can take a look at Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius talks about it all the time. Honor your word. That's when life changes. Because you know what? In the end, you can't take anything with you in this life. There's nothing we can take away from you. The true wealth is not what you have right now. Your true wealth is what you're left with when everything you have is gone. And the only thing you're going to be left with is your word in the end. So just one last thing before we end it. Just want to stand up real quick. Now think about that one thing that you said you're going to do. And it could be like, you know what, I'm going to do the Talkadot thing. I'm going to all set it up tomorrow. Then notice, what do you actually do tomorrow, right? It's better to say, I'll do it from like Monday. I'll do it from Tuesday. So think about that. And just put your hand on your heart, right? And I want you to just like really feel this in. Right? Honoring your word is not just about the words we say.
That's how we honor ourselves. Thank you.